The Lord be with you. Pilgrims of hope, it is always beautiful to see sport fans on popular stands tooting for their favorite players with placards and memes. Yes, it is fitting for us to applaud and cheer one another up on the stage of life. I might be invigorated by catching a glimpse of my name on placards with cheering echoes. Great job! Keep going, Father Godwin. But no, that is not how things work in our spiritual pilgrimage. Our spiritual journey calls for a different shout out, an inward outcry to God, and an outward outcry for others. There are times when honest and familiar cries well up in our souls, compelling us to cry out to God with faith. It is the cry of those who see injustice, who pray and feel no immediate response, who see systems fail and wonder where God's saving hand is at work. But this cry is not new. The prophet Habakkuk expressed it in his time with anguished question. How long, O Lord? Why do I see ruin and violence? Why does law seem powerless? Why do the wicked prosper? God's answer comes not as immediate deliverance, but as a promise in measurable terms. Write down the vision clearly upon the tablet so that one can see it readily, for the vision still has its time, presses on to fulfillment, and will not disappoint. If it delays, wait for it. It will surely come. You will not be late. The just one who is righteous because of faith shall live. Brothers and sisters, amid life hardships and uncertainty, the word of the Lord challenges us to put God's oracle into writing and faithfully proclaim it. The oracle of the Lord is true and God's timing is always right. What can we do as we await the fulfillment of divine plan and purpose? Proclaim the word faithfully. Let others know what has been written down so that when fulfilled, they know that the Lord has done what he said he would do. We are the ones to boldly write down God's vision for our lives, making it easy for others to read. Every pilgrim must carry a placard of fidelity, perseverance, and endurance, encouraging others to trust God's timing while marching forward with faith. Let your placard reflect your story. Let it read, "The righteous shall live by faith. Walk by faith, not by sight. God is still working. Even in the storm, God is near. Hold on, the vision will come. Grace is greater than my past. Hope does not disappoint." Those are some of the things you can put on your placard of faith. You are the one to stir into flame the gift of God that you have received and use it with love, power, and self-control. You are the one to raise the banner of the salvation Christ has won for us by faith so that others might see and glorify God for his wondrous deeds. How much faith do we need to have to trust God's vision? Jesus does not give a pious answer. He teaches by image. Faith as small as a mustard seed can uproot and replant a mulberry tree. A servant does what is required without expecting praise. Faith is not a magic formula, but a humble and obedient disposition with readiness to serve when called. Faith does not wait idly, it serves. It does not ask first where the applause will come from. It asks, "What must I do?" Faith serves without counting the cost. Jesus' image of the servant shows that faith's obedience is not bargaining. The servant does what is required, whether or not a reward is promised. Faith moves toward duty, toward neighbor, toward mercy. Dear friends, raising the placard of salvation by faith requires you to see needs, wait in hope for change, and serve without counting the cost. Faith does not abhor darkness, it dispels darkness with the light of Christ and steadfast expectation that God is at work. Faith sees reality honestly and moves towards prophetic lament. It looks squarely at violence and corruption and names them before God and humanity. Faith sees suffering and courageously brings suffering into the light of God's presence. The vision is written clearly because God intends us to hold on to it through delay. Faith always waits with conviction. Waiting is proactive. It is an expectant endurance that refuses despair. And because God's promise will surely be fulfilled, we can wait without despair and serve without bargaining. Lifting the placard of salvation by faith implies prophetic declarations and readiness to see, name, wait, and serve with trust in God's vision for renewal. See and name one injustice you notice in your neighborhood or online feed. Write it down and take it to the Lord in prayer. Let the prayer of faith sharpen your sight. Choose one long-term cause in your community and offer persistent support. Persistence builds outcomes. Quick fixes do not. Commit to one practical act of service of your choice. Tell one other person what you are doing and invite them to join. Faith amplifies when it is communal. Fellow pilgrims, God's promise is not sentimental. It is anchored in patience, visible instruction, and the steady, life-transforming power of faith. Faith is the foundation of sound teaching. And if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you will transform lives through sound teachings rooted in God's living and effective word. The Lord's vision is written plainly. Salvation will come, and the righteous lives by faith. We do not raise placards of empty slogans, but lift them with deeds shaped by patient trust. The Lord is with you to make your faith humble, unwavering, courageous in waiting, and generous in your loving service. So raise your placard of salvation not with words alone, but with living examples that see with faith. Wait in hope and serve lovingly until God's promise is fulfilled. God bless you.